Hey guys, this week we discuss the worst part of every strip property, back-to-back amazing rolls, and more, so stick around.
I found out something very unsettling about Harry. Gambles. What do you mean he gambles? He plays craps in the back room of a private club. I mean, you know, U11, come on, little Joe, Snake Eyes, hard way. That's how it goes. He loses a lot of money. You had no idea? No, I didn't.
Welcome to the Crap Vegas Podcast.
Vegas, here we come.
Vegas!
Here are your hosts, Chris and Josh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 107 of the Crap Vegas Podcast. I am Chris. He is Josh. Josh, what's new?
Well, you didn't say 107p. Is there a reason for that?
I didn't, because this is actually an episode that's going out to the masses. It's hitting our main feed. It's not just Patreon only. It's our chance to remind people we are still alive. We're still doing a show, but we are forcing you to pay us a little money if you want to hear.
If you want to hear us regularly, you get to hear this without paying us any money, right?
Yeah, if you're good every 2 months. And quite frankly, maybe hearing us once every 2 months is probably plenty.
You need.
I mean,
but if you do want to hear us more, come join us over on Patreon. We have a lot of fun over there.
Yes, absolutely. Josh, everything good?
Everything's good. We are, by the time this episode drops, we may be done with or in the middle of a road trip to a couple national parks. Got somebody staying at the house taking care of our cats while we're doing that because cats won't do well by themselves.
Of course you have a cat sitter.
They do kind of all right by themselves. But anyway, we will have or are seeing all sorts of national parks. We decided to get the Starlink Mini, to connect with the clouds so that our child is never without internet because God forbid.
I mean, I can't imagine anything much worse.
Exactly. So, you've got to have internet in the national parks,
Absolutely. Can't argue with you.
How about you? What's going on? You've got some travel coming up too, right?
Yeah, I'll be heading down to Gulf Shores here in a week or two. I'm not sure when this is coming out, so very shortly after this releases, if I had to guess. It's Dance National, so all the hard work throughout the season for my daughter will all come to fruition in this 1 week. But it's a good chance to get out of town for a little bit, hit the beach. We got a nice little cabin right on the beach, Josh. That's very nice. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be very relaxing. It'll be the first time I've taken that many days off work in a long time. So.
Oh, wow. Did you Airbnb it or how'd you get the cabin?
Yeah, we have friends that stay down there a decent amount. And they recommended this one place in Gulf Shores, these private cottages. It's like a gated community with like 10 or 15 cottages that all surround like a middle pool that has a lazy river. It's right on the ocean. So, yeah, we're really excited about it. I think it'll be fun.
You have to send pictures.
Sure. I'll see what I can do. Okay, Josh, well, when we keep it moving, tell people how to get a hold of us. You can send us an email. That's podcast@crapvegas.com. You can join us over on our Facebook page. It's crapvegas.com/Facebook. Or you can find us over on Twitter.
X, and yes, I am back.
He's back at Vegas Duffy. I'm at Small Whale 13, or the show page is at Crap Vegas. Or like Josh said earlier, we would love to have you join us over on Patreon if you're not already hearing this here. And that is patreon.com/crapvegas. Previous episode feedback. We got a message from Jonathan over on the CV Facebook group regarding smoking in casinos. Jonathan said, I got caught up on the last couple episodes this weekend. I think the best thing the casinos could do regarding smoking is to restrict it to clearly marked areas in the casino and limit it to folks who are sitting and actively gaming. This would help keep non-smoking areas smoke-free and make the walkways less smoky. Interestingly, the law in Atlantic City requires exactly this, but none of the properties enforce it. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. The first thing I thought of, Jonathan, was the whole, when we used to have smoking sections on airplanes. Or in restaurants.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Yeah.
I mean, segregating it somehow is nice. I mean, Plaza, I think they did have a non-smoking section, and maybe they still do have a non-smoking section. I don't know. I like the idea in theory. I think it doesn't always work in practice. Maybe that's your point. Like it has to be enforced, and you've got to have. But I mean, I like areas that you can. And this kind of is the opposite, I guess, but you can get away. Like, I think Bellagio used to have, maybe they still have some non-smoking slot sections, but again, you get smokers that go in there because oftentimes the signage isn't very good and that kind of stuff. But I like the idea of trying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's better than nothing, but it always cracks me up, Josh. At one of our local casinos, they literally will have like a sign on one
Exactly.
blackjack table that says non-smoking and the one next to it smoking. And what are we thinking? Like this 3 foot of space between us is really going to make a big deal?
It reminds me when my very first job was as a salad chef, Chris.
Okay.
And I made Caesar salads. I made hot chopped spinach or hot spinach salads and Caesar salads. And you could have your Caesar salad without anchovies or with anchovies.
Okay.
And it was a matter of, what if I had made a Caesar salad with anchovies? Did I now need a clean bowl?
Oh, no. I mean, cross-contamination, not a big deal at all. Just do what you need to do.
That's what that made me think of.
Oh, absolutely. So thank you for that comment, Jonathan. We got an email from Sarah. Sarah said, listening to your most recent episode about hot takes, and I think I have the hottest one for you. Vegas itself is horribly overrated and not worth the trip. I much prefer going to Biloxi or Atlantic City. Still have access to some amazing gambling, great shows, great hotels, etc. And I don't have to deal with all the other headaches associated with Las Vegas. It's cheaper, usually nicer, and game quality is much better. Sarah, that is a very hot take, especially for a Vegas/gambling related podcast.
Sarah, I appreciate the hot take. I am trying to, so I haven't been to Biloxi or Atlantic City, as you know, if you've listened to us, but I have been to a few other, I've been to Reno. I've been to the local tribal places around here. I've probably been to some others that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. I can't think of, just using Reno as an example, or Tahoe. I've been to Tahoe too. They just don't have the same energy as I'm looking for in Vegas. Yes, you can find the games. I'm sure I can find the same gambling experiences, probably, lower table limits, maybe even better odds in a lot of these places. But it's just, for me, it's just not the same energy. I think about the tribal places by my house, Chris, and you probably have. Locals gambling is different and it feels different. And I think you get that in my sense is you get a little more locals gambling in Atlantic City. You still get some of the same thing probably as Vegas vibes, and same thing with Biloxi. But when that locals gambling starts to creep in, it gets less vacation extravaganza feeling for me. Like it just doesn't have the same vibe.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been to Atlantic City a handful of times. I've been to Biloxi before. I think the difference is whether you're just purely a gambler or if you like everything else associated with Vegas.
Right.
Because if the only thing, and we've talked about this on the show before, sometimes when I go, the only thing I want to do is gamble while I'm there because it's a short trip. If that's your whole purpose, then Atlantic City can fill the void and feel just as good as Vegas. They have good games. If anything, they have better odds at the craps table. Hotels are nice quality, not as nice as some of the Vegas properties, but there's some nice places there. You got multiple properties in a small little area if you do want to roam around. And you even have a Spiegel World show now in Atlantic City, The Hook.
That's true. Chris, when you went to Encore Boston Harbor, how did that feel from a Vegas comparison standpoint?
Okay. The property looks like a Vegas property.
Right.
It's a beautiful property.
Right.
Just super pretty. The gambling itself, it's still, when I think locals gambling, I think degeneracy. And I'm in that bucket.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not denigrating right.
No, but it's just, it feels very degenerate gambling. Like you see a different type of people versus when you're in Vegas. And it feels like most of the people that we play with, Josh, are like, I never gamble. I come to Vegas. I gamble a couple times. They really don't even know what they're doing at craps table a lot of the time.
Right.
It's just kind of a completely different feel of gambler. And you don't get that at locals properties. Everybody knows every bet on the table. They know every dealer there. This is something that it feels like they do for a living. So it's a completely different feel. But if you want anything else associated with the trip outside gambling, then you have to go to Vegas. That's the place to be. That's people watching is so much better in Vegas. Like there's so many hot people walking around at all times.
Oh yeah.
It's just a different feel. Sarah, I would love to support you in this. I can't. I think it's a terrible take. That is the worst hot take I've heard in a long time.
I agree. Sorry, Sarah, but I really do agree. And Chris, this is a slight digression, but it made me think of it. So I'm sure you've seen this too, where at the craps table in Vegas, you'll see somebody that seems to be there every trip you go.
Yes.
And I've seen this at like the Venetian High Limit. I see the same guy or the same woman like every time I'm there. And
used to see very, very specific people over and over again.
It almost feels like at places like Venetian or Wynn or things like, you shouldn't be here. You should be at Plaza. Like,
yeah.
if you're
I agree.
If you're a local, Like, it just seems odd to see regulars at some of our favorite strip properties.
I feel like we've played with the same people multiple times at Wynn. Like,
maybe that says
times.
we're just as bad as they are, but
no, I mean, we used to be at Wynn a lot more than we are now.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I used to be at Wynn 8-10 times a year. So
right.
I mean, I can think of the one guy, Josh, that always wants to reserve the crapless table. The kind of heavier guy that always has
still
a chair.
there, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, I know I've seen him almost every trip on there. I don't think he's a local though. I just think he's somebody that
just
takes
goes
a lot of trips to Vegas, and for all we know, they may be sending the jet to pick him up every weekend.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I've seen that at the video poker bar, at the High Limit Bar at Palazzo, the same kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, just a kind of I disagree with Sarah's hot take.
I tend to agree with you.
We haven't talked recently because we haven't had a main show recently, Chris, about videopoker.com.
No, we haven't. It is a great place to go practice. There's a reason Josh has been hitting so many amazing hands recently, getting all the kickers, all these royal flushes.
It's true. I pay monthly to videopoker.com for my membership.
Even though I don't even play it. I
know. Chris doesn't even practice, but I practice almost daily. So I've been trying to with Boring Jack, he and I are trying to see how low we can get our expected value loss percentage or error cost, I guess is the better way to say it, over 500 hands or 400 hands.
Nerd alert.
I know. It's yeah, exactly. But anyway, of 500 hands, I had 4 incorrect, over 500 incorrect plays with an error cost over 500 hands. And this is my usual $30 a pull play, 24 cents. I cost myself over 500
nice work,
hands.
Josh. See, there is a reason you're doing so well nowadays.
Yeah, except then I did another one and I was at like 98 hands and I had made one. I didn't even know I'd made an error. I looked down to the thing and I had made one $98 error.
Oh.
So I don't even know what I missed.
You actually had a royal flush and you threw it away.
I mean, no, that would have been much more. But I was like, what did I miss that cost me $98? So as much as I practice, I'm still not perfect. But when you play a game, when you play any game, but when you play a game where there are different strategies, especially multipliers and things, practice is really important if you want to get close to playing perfect strategy. And you can do it. How, Chris?
If you want to get signed up, head on over to crapvegas.com/poker today, and that will link you right on over. Okay, back on October 12th, 2025, for the first time in forever, Chris actually looked up a date of a previous episode.
Is this somebody's celebrity's birthday?
No. We released an episode called The Best Parts,
where
we discussed what we thought was the absolute best thing that each strip property had to offer. Well, I thought it would be fun this week to go and look at that same property list, Josh, but flip it. Let's talk about what the absolute worst part of every strip property is.
And for those who say that Chris is always grumpy, this is perfect.
This is it. I am locked in, ready to go.
It's going to be hard for me.
Exactly. Okay, I thought let's take it geographically, Josh. Let's start at the south end of the strip and work our way forward. I don't know if that's what we did last time. Maybe we were alphabetical. I don't know. But starting off at the south end of the strip, we have Mandalay Bay. Josh, what is the absolute worst part of Mandalay Bay?
Are we allowed to say more than one worst part? Or are we going just one and that's one and done?
If you got a couple things you want to point out, I think that's fine. I made a couple notes on
mine kind of tie together, and this is something I noticed with Boring Jack when he and I were on our Boring Jack walk a couple months ago, whenever it was, and we went all the way to Mandalay Bay and into Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay has these just enormous spaces of emptiness. It's just the casino floor is huge, 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 which means that there are lots of places where there's just nothing. And it seems, and it makes it feel emptier than it should. And it's dark. And we've talked about that before, but I think it's just way too big. It needs something more, slot machine corners and things like that, whatever. It's just got a lot of emptiness.
I agree. It reminds me of Rio when you go down that one hallway towards the food court area and there's just literally nothing there. And even the few gaming machines that were down there, they have taken now at this point. I agree with you. It is too big. It's too empty. But for me, the overarching issue is location. I mean, the property's fine. I don't have a lot of issues. It is just so far south that you just have to want to stay there. MGM knows that. They'll give you suites there when you have normal rooms at their other properties, because the only way to drag some people down there is to give them more than they deserve, because it is just so far south on the strip.
I thought of that too. And that's part of the reason that I think the convention center is really good for them, or the convention space is really good for them, because that gives them a natural, draw there.
And the football stadium.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. And soon to be baseball stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, move our way up the list, Josh. How about Luxor?
Well, Luxor is interesting. The thing that I thought of is you've got the weird angle rooms.
Yes.
Like you've got the rooms
pyramid rooms, yes.
Yeah, the pyramid rooms. And you've got the inclinators, but as far as worst parts, we're talking about worst parts. It's the weird angle rooms. It's, you stand up without paying attention. You hit your head on
Yes, and I have done that
right.
more than once.
And we're not tall
drunk.
people.
No.
That's the worst part for me.
I think it is the rooms, Josh. I'll throw in the fact that they're ridiculously dated at this point.
Yes.
I don't think they've made a bunch of improvements to it. They also have a slightly weird layout at the Luxor, just the way the property's laid out. But overall, I'm with you. Those pyramid rooms, as like cool as they are, like in principle, like just like the thought of them, they need to be updated. And yes, they are slightly dangerous if you've been drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. How about Excalibur? For me, I'll go first on this one, Josh. It was easy. The crowd. The people that go to Excalibur are a certain type of people that I just have no desire to gamble with.
For a lot of these, Chris is going to say, these aren't my kind of people.
No, and that is the case with a lot of these properties, especially when we get to the opposite end of the strip.
That too.
But for me, in Excalibur, like I love the theming. I love theme properties. I wish they would go all in even more, but it's the crowd that makes me not want to go there.
Well, for me, it's the theming, but it's that now we're in this kind of netherworld of.
I agree.
It's like the Renaissance fair that never got the memo that it was over. Like it didn't. It's not fully embracing the Ren Fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're going to theme, then go all in. You can't leave the theming but neglect it at the same time.
Yeah, and I thought about that again as this was on that same walk with Boring Jack. We walked through Excalibur, and I was thinking I was kind of paying attention to the theming and what's still themed and what's not, and it's just like these remnants of it. And I like the theming too, but I think the worst part is they've just given up on it, but it's still there.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It shows some laziness on their part. Moving up the strip, how about another MGM property since they kind of own the south end of the strip? The MGM Grand.
It's way too big.
It's quite grand.
That's the worst part for me. It is a monstrosity. And it really only has kind of one entrance. You can't easily, But the worst part for me is it's just so big. Like I can't feel at home there.
And it's not even that, Josh. It's not like it's just a big empty room. It's not only huge, but it's horribly laid out. There's only one property in Vegas that I think is laid out worse, and that will pop up here shortly. But I mean, you walk down random corridors and you don't know where you're going because there's not great signage, and you end up someplace and you have no idea where to even get back to the main gambling floor.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
How about New York, New York?
This was a tough one for me. I don't know if it was a tough one for you as far as worst parts. I think the worst part for me is I like the theming. I like the cobblestone thing. But I don't really feel like it captures a lot of New York. It captures like Times Square. But
I don't even think it captures Times Square.
I mean, you get, you kind of have a Central Park vibe. But to me, it really doesn't feel like New York.
I agree.
It just doesn't capture enough. Again, it kind of goes back to the Excalibur thing. And maybe it was more New York-y when it first opened. I can't remember. But it's that. It just doesn't have the New York vibe to me.
I'm with you on that. That's not what I put. And I do know a lot of people will point out that New York can be extremely loud, especially in the rooms because of the roller coaster.
I was going to say that was one of my worst parts.
So I'll leave that off. But what I would say is they just have no good high-end food options. If you're staying there, you have to go to another property because as far as I know, the only high-end, as they would call it, food option is Gallagher's. And I don't consider that to be high end. So I don't like that they don't have that nice over-the-top place.
What's the burger place right outside?
Steak Shack?
Shake Shack. Yeah, what about Shake Shack?
That's super high end.
That's what I want.
But no, I just don't. I can't think of anything. I don't like that. So that works against me. We continue on the MGM side. Park MGM.
Park MGM, I think it's nice the way an airport lounge is nice.
Okay.
I think
great description.
I just think it's I've always found it to be lifeless.
It is.
There's just nothing there for me. We have another one of those that I'll get to in a little bit, but that's for me. It's just kind of blah.
Yeah, I said their gaming floor. It's long, it's narrow, it's extremely dark, and there's just never energy there. We have played there a handful of times with listeners, walk through it for different shows and stuff. It's just always dead. I have no desire to gamble there. I know everybody says, well, it's non-smoking and that's great. And if that's what you're trying to find, and I'm one of those people, usually it is. But I would still never play there because it wouldn't feel like Vegas.
Right.
And I used to love Monte Carlo when it was there. It's just, I don't know what they did, but they sucked the life out of it when they redid it. Okay, moving on up to Aria. What do you think?
This was a tough one because there's a few worst parts. But for me, the worst part of Aria are the room controls. The light switches, especially the Sky Suites, but I don't know if this translates into the regular rooms or not. But I can never get the stupid bathroom lights to shut off the way I want to in those rooms. The touch control stuff is just goofy. That's the worst part of Aria for me.
There's just too much technology up there for you.
Too much tech for this old timer.
What about that fancy toilet, Josh? It's got a bunch of buttons.
Ooh,
Do you like that?
I like the fancy toilet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fancy
Just
toilet
make sure
with the warm
you
seat.
still like that. For me, I said my only real issue with Aria is just the access to the strip. It's the one strip property that I don't feel like you can easily get to the strip from. It's just, it's not like obvious how you get out there. Like I know at this point how to get out to the strip because I've been there so many times. But if I just threw one of my friends in Aria, like a cab dropped them off, they walked in the front door and I said, get to the strip. They could walk for 45 minutes or an hour and not find it.
Yeah, it's a good point. And kind of tangentially related, there's also the fact there's multiple entrances. I know I criticize this on MGM Grand, but I think on Aria, it is hard. If somebody's coming to pick you up or you're getting an Uber, it could be in the downstairs area. It could be on the south end. I'm making up the directions, but there's a couple different pickup areas in addition to the Uber area, which is down a level. And so like, it's hard to know if you're meeting someone or something like that, where it's going to be.
And you walk outside through the glass doors to where like a porte cochere is, and you think, okay, I can just walk out here to the strip. No, you can't.
Right.
It's just,
no, you can't.
It is very confusing. That is something I wish they would address and make it much easier to get out to the strip. We continue on the MGM side, Josh. We're at Cosmopolitan.
Well, this one, you might be going the same worst part. There's bros everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't put that, but now that you say it, I agree 100%.
I mean, it seems like everybody you see is either trying to pick up somebody or they're getting content for Instagram or something like that. It just
I agree with you there. I was a little bit more basic than that. I just said everything there is the most expensive thing in Las Vegas. I don't know why. Their Starbucks is more expensive. Their bottled waters are more expensive.
The women, the men.
I guess it's just that too. I guess it's just the bro tax is what you're saying.
Right.
For having those people there. But I'm with you, Josh. The bros are an issue there. It's very noisy. If you don't like a very loud property, that's not the place to be, especially in the evenings. I still love Cosmo. I think I've aged out of there.
As you know. Yeah.
I don't belong there age-wise anymore, but there's a couple things working against it.
I'm okay there until about 7 p.m. and then I start to age out.
Okay, fair enough. Talking about another place you can age out easily. How about Planet Hollywood?
I love Planet Hollywood. The worst part for me is I still get lost in that damn place.
Do you really? That's actually a place I don't get lost very often.
I still find myself like, where's that big disco ball chandelier thing to know to get down the escalator or whatever? I still, which entrance is going to take me to the Miracle Mile shops versus out to the strip. I have a pretty good sense of that. But if I'm trying to get down to the, pickup area, the Uber area, or the front desk area, I will spin around 360 degrees to figure out where I am in that place. Yeah, that's the worst part for me.
You just got to find the Spice Market Buffet elevator or escalators, and they're right next to it.
Yeah, exactly. What about you? What's the worst part?
For me, I think it's the high limit table games area. It's a very boring area. It's got like 6 blackjack tables, maybe a roulette table in there. It's not even a real room. It's got like pony walls into it, and anybody can just kind of walk through it any time. There's nothing special about it at all. The dealers aren't anything special in there. The only thing I'll give it is it's right next to the cage, so that's kind of nice.
It is close to that, yeah.
But for being a high limit space, they truly need to put a lot of time and effort into that and add a craps table while they're at it.
But to your point, being close to the cage, there is no high limit cage. You're going to the main cage.
No, there isn't. It's just, you got to use the main cage like everybody else. And of course, Caesars has like the diamond line and stuff like that. But is it just me or did they not even really honor that sort of thing anymore? You get random people going into diamond lines and they never check. So
I know they don't. Every once in a while, I'll have my card in my hand.
I'll hold it up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why I keep last year's diamond card and things like that.
There you go. How about Paris?
Paris is a tough one because I like it. I don't like the gambling floor, particularly for slots. But really, what it is for me, the worst part is their high limit slot area sucks. Again, to your kind of pony wall thing, it doesn't really feel like a segregated area. I think
Mhm.
their high limit table games area is a little nicer, but their high limit slot area I found fairly kind of just like a piece of the main casino floor, but also plastic glasses.
Mhm.
Just know if I'm playing in a high limit area, I want glass. The
Oh,
worst part
I
is
agree
not
with you
treating.
100%.
Yeah, that's kind of a long winded way of saying I guess not treating the high limit, particularly slot area, like a special place.
But that's a Caesars thing. I
Yeah,
don't even
it
think it's
is. It is.
specific to Paris or Plain Hollywood.
Yeah, it
or
is.
Cromwell. They're all about plastic cups. They don't treat their high limit players very well. Their high limit spaces in general are garbage compared to some of the
Yeah.
other properties. They just don't deal with them. I guess because they just don't have as many high limit players.
Yeah.
But for me, it was hard to pick out one thing. I just find Paris in general just to be the most mid property in the world. There is nothing special about it. There's nothing horrible about it. It's just mid. The rooms are, for the most part, fairly dated, but they're not
Yeah.
terrible.
No.
It's a place that I just never have any desire to walk through, stay in. I would choose 4 other Caesars properties before I would stay there.
I mean, I kind of have a soft spot for it. It was my home
Yeah.
base for a while, but that was a long time ago. And I agree. It is. I mean, I'd rather stay at Planet Hollywood easily.
Oh, yeah,
over
for
Paris.
sure.
Speaking of mid,
Oh.
what you got next?
How about Horseshoe?
Also mid.
Yeah, very mid.
I think the worst part of Horseshoe for me is, well, I mean, you've got the easy answer, which maybe is your pick, which is the whole shops in front thing.
The location doesn't help.
Yeah, the location. But I was going to go kind of along the same lines. When you go in, I always feel like, where am I? Like if I'm trying to check in, it's like, where's the front desk? You've got the cage way down on the right.
Yep.
It just what feels like one of those. It's an oddly designed space.
Yeah, I never liked it when it was Bally's, now Horseshoe. A lot of the things that I didn't like back then, I still don't like no
Yeah.
high limit area to speak of, really. I mean, before, it's just an elevated platform.
Yeah,
and you
again,
can
yeah.
again, nothing special about those tables. or
Hardly
anything
ever
up there.
staffed.
Their high limit slot rooms, if you want to call it a room, is garbage up there. There's really nothing going on.
Right.
Yeah, it's just location is my biggest thing about it, being so far off the strip. You have to walk through the shops to get to it. I do not like that part of it. But yeah, they spent a lot of money remodeling that place, and it didn't
still
get any
feels
better.
like Bally's.
It still feels like Bally's. It still feels like garbage. I don't know what they did.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. How about Bellagio, Josh? Something on the nicer end.
I got one word. Can you guess it for Josh's worst part?
Snacks.
That's it.
Nailed it.
It's on my sheet. Snacks! ! That's the
Yeah,
worst
I mean,
part.
I was going to say casual dining. And so we're on the same page here. They
Yes.
have no casual dining to speak of. Snacks is it. It has gone downhill since it was, a few years ago.
Since it had milkshakes.
They have got to figure something out casual. It's the same issue I have with another property that's coming out on the list. These high-end properties, it's great that they have all these nice fancy steakhouses and, fish places and Asian food. But sometimes you just want to grab a quick bite to eat that's good quality, take it to your room, eat in a little food court area,
Mhm.
whatever it may be. And that's just something that's very hard to do at Bellagio.
Yep, for sure.
Okay, how about Caesar's Palace?
Well, Caesar's Palace is the hospital aspect. It's the brutal
wings?
layout, just the wings of never-ending kind of. There's slot machines here and slot machines there, and corridors here and corridors there, and a shortcut to take you from place to place. And
Oh, and there's
Again,
a
I-
timeshare person jumping out at you.
that too, yeah. It's so massive and it's built, so many towers over time. It's hard to get around it. I like the fact that the original casino floor is still there, that main table games area
Yeah.
kind of thing. But the worst part for me is just that hospital vibe, medical
Yeah.
center feel.
There is absolutely zero flow in that place at all. It's a hodgepodge, a mess. Here's 6 table games. Here's a bunch of slots. And then after that,
Mhm.
here's 2 more table games. And here's more slots. Here's a food court with a table game stuck in the middle of it.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. You never know where you want to go. Caesar's Palace has some really nice features, but overall, the size and the wings that they have jutting off of
Yes.
it, it's just a disaster. And I don't think you can ever fix it at this point, but it just
No,
is
me
what it
either.
is.
And it does offer something for everybody. You can find everything at Caesar's.
That
It's
is
just-
100% true. Okay, well, let's head across the street to Flamingo. And this one was hard for me because I couldn't in my mind come up with anything that was like, oh, this is the worst part of Flamingo. Like It is really dated. It needs to be updated. The rooms are really dated. The food court, they have one, but it's kind of shitty food that's in the food court. But there's just nothing that jumps out at me that's like, this is the worst part of Flamingo.
Mine, and maybe this is cheating a little bit, kind of goes with, it's just the worn rooms. And worn everything, but worn rooms. Like I was in, I think it was Michael Traeger's room. This is 3 or 4 years ago or so. He invited me up. He had some suite that had pink walls and things, but it had speaker panel spaces on the wall where there had at one point been an in-room sound system on the wall. And they took out the speaker and they put in some, something that obvely didn't
Like
repair the wall fully.
That doesn't
Right.
fit. Yeah.
Right.
That's
or
a
something.
Caesar special right there.
I know. It's just that whole thing. Like they just gave up. So it's just the worn feel of Flamingo. And I wish it weren't the case. I would love to see Flamingo restored to some kind of glory if you could do it.
I do too. I mean, keep the neon, embrace the old theme, and just go with it. They just, like all Caesars properties, Josh, it just needs a ton of, money into it to fix these places up and make them, more modern. And that's just not a direction they're going. Okay. How about the Link?
The Link was an easy one for me because it goes back to the old Imperial Palace days. They haven't changed it. The elevators.
Yeah. I figured that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty horrible. I'll throw in that their rooms are pretty shitty at the same time. Not a great place, not a place I'd ever want to stay. And if you're staying on a higher floor, good luck.
And if I were going broader, I mean, the casino floor I hate of Link. Talk about no soul. The
layout's bad. It's just like going around random corners. It's one of the few Caesars properties that's really dark most of the time. I don't know. I don't love it.
It just, and I mean, I never thought I'd say I missed the casino floor of Imperial Palace, but maybe that's it.
You're reminiscing, Josh. How about the Cromwell or now the Vanderpump, I guess?
Well, for me, the worst part is kind of if you talk about a boutique property, which this has become, or maybe always was, but that means little everything. And their casino floor is little, and right now it's not even very well. I don't want to say it with Vanderpumps. I haven't been there since the whole transition. I saw the new carpet, I think, when I was there last. But, now there's kind of open spaces where there used to be table games, and they've kind of tried to stick in some slots, but also the rooms are pretty tiny. Just you get everything tiny there. Yeah,
you do. And keep in mind, the Cromwell was my home base for a couple of years. I mean, I used to stay there 8-10 times a year, every year. I used to love the place. When it was a good place to gamble, I loved it. Snackwell, their little food place up front, used to have some really good, they had the absolute best nachos in Vegas. I would get that for my meal, like every single meal. And then all of a sudden, some of the food started disappearing and the hours changed. And then it wasn't 24/7. And then, of course, Caesars came in and just gutted everything that was good about the property and took away from it. For me, I will still say that the worst part about that place now is just the lack of casual food options. Because literally, there are times, Josh, when Eat Well was closed, you didn't have a single place to get food on property.
Right.
Like, I remember they used to have like one of those texting agents that you send a text to Ivy or whatever it is, and they'll answer your questions for you. And that was brand new. It was like Cromwell was the first place Caesars put that in. And I text the Cromwell at like Ivy or whoever it was at 7:00 in the morning and said, I'm hungover. Where can I get a burger? And it took like 15 minutes and they came back and gave me burger restaurants at like Caesars Palace and stuff like that. Like a long walk to try to get to something. And it just reminded me, they just don't have access to food, which feels like a necessity for a property unless you're some like junky downtown property.
You would think, yeah. I thought you were just going to say unless you're a junkie.
Yeah, unless you're a junkie, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay, how about Harrah's, Josh?
I came up with my tagline for Harrah's. If beige were a casino.
I can't argue with you.
That's my worst part. It's 5 minutes later, you forget you were even in Harrah's.
You would. Yeah. And it's one of those things where unless you're like 80 or older, you really shouldn't be in there in the first place. No. I mean, there is zero energy in that place at all. It is the lowest in like casino. It reminds me of exactly where like Clark Griswold would go gamble.
Yes.
As a degenerate. That's where he belongs.
Now, I will say, when I walked through there last time, I did see they still have that dueling piano bar that had two people playing piano, and it had looked like a pretty good crowd in it. So, like, I'll give that to it. But I just think that Harrah's just blah.
Yeah. I only used to go there to see Matt King when he was performing there. And once he moved, I was done. Okay, how about the Venetian, a place that's near and dear to your heart?
Close to my heart. Yeah. Well, I have a serious one and I have a, more flippant answer. I'll give you so I don't know if I'm sure you recognize this, Chris, but there's one bathroom. This is on the Venetian side where you go through this corridor and it's almost a shortcut to the casino or to, different parts of the casino. So it takes you, if you go down one end to get to the bathroom and then you go out the other end, you come out by the sports bar area.
Okay.
For me, the worst part, this is the flip one. The worst part is I always forget, I always go the wrong direction when I come out, and then I'm at an opposite end of the casino than I was when I went in.
That's a you problem, Josh. That's not a them problem.
It's still the worst part for me. But no, the serious thing is, especially at night, Venetian is very small, really. I mean, it's a huge casino floor, but the corridors or the walkways between
Very
tables
tight.
and things like that are tight, so it can get really crowded in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think of that. I had a couple things that hit my register. One being the dated rooms, which I know they're going through and upgrading a lot of those as we speak. But those rooms do feel like my grandmother's house, rest in peace. The other thing that crossed my mind was their high limit tables area. Just very bland, boring, especially when you're comparing it over to Palazzo.
Right.
I mean, think where the craps tables are.
Where is their
Josh.
high limit table area?
Well, you know where the craps tables are at that main intersection there, and you can branch off. And
Oh,
go
yeah.
towards,
Okay, I know where it is.
It's kind of sitting back behind some of those tables.
Right.
It's actually kind of hard to get to. You have to
Yeah,
walk
it is.
around
That's
a bunch
why
of
I-
tables
yeah.
to get to it. I mean, comparing it to Palazzo's high limit table area, it just looks terrible. I do wish they would update that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, how about the Palazzo now that we mentioned it?
So it's the stale frat house beer smell at Bar Luca. Like I would love
Super specific.
Yep, very specific. I would love to sit at Bar Luca because they have good video poker odds on the game I play and sit there for hours and hours. I'm okay with, not as good quality drinks as you get in the high limit room. I like Philip, the bartender, and the other bartenders. They're fine. I don't even mind the crowds. It just, that place smells terrible sometimes, especially first thing in the morning. If you're coming when I'm there at 6 a.m. and they haven't cleaned up from the overnight people, it just
that's rough.
really, it smells like a frat house.
I had trouble with the Palazzo because I like the Palazzo so much more than Venetian. It's got a lot of things going for it that Venetian doesn't. Again, the only thing I can really point out is just the dated rooms. If you had all new rooms throughout that property that were, similar to the level we find at the other higher end properties in Vegas, I don't think there'd be a ton of reason to go to other properties anymore other than their dealers not being as good as what you find at like Wynn.
Sometime soon, I've got to bring a DVD and try it on the DVD player.
Because almost all their rooms have DVD players that we stay in there.
Yeah. And I checked last time I was there. My room had the DVD player.
Yeah,
I didn't play
it doesn't
it,
always have a DVD player remote, I've seen. Sometimes
I
the
didn't
remote's
get
not there.
that far, but I got to bring a DVD so I can test it.
One time we need to just call down to the desk and say, hey, we saw
Do you
there's a
have a
DVD player
library?
in our room. Is there a library that we can pick a movie out of? Or is there a red box somewhere?
99-cent rentals, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to know the answer to that question. Okay, Josh, moving on to my favorite place. How about
hold on,
Wynn?
I'm just picturing your folio at Palazzo and your host pulls it up. You rented a lot of DVDs, Chris.
Weekend at Bernie's? Where did you really? That would be kind of fun. Okay, moving on, Josh. How about Wynn, my favorite place?
Well, this is an obvious answer. We've talked about it before, but just weak casual dining. Really, it's Charlie's.
It's terrible.
And there's that Cafe El Teatro, but that doesn't really count to me as much. I guess it's kind of casual dining, but it's casual dining.
Yeah, and I don't even consider Charlie's to really be casual dining. It's a sit down, $20 to $30 per person restaurant that you can't walk up and have your food in 5 minutes.
And
you
maybe
can walk up and place an order at a bar and wait half an hour, but it's it's not casual in my eyes.
And maybe that's a way of saying that the worst part of Wynn is that we're below it.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Below it, right? It's really us. What? We're the worst part of Wynn.
I mean, if I ever was to give Wynn a suggestion that they would never take, if you want to have Charlie's kind of be your home base for the lower end dining, they need a separate little area, not when you walk in the main entrance, but over by the sports book or something. They need a separate area with a person where you can place to-go orders and kind of bypass the whole main restaurant and just have a dedicated to-go area where that's where you go to.
Yeah.
And allow you to place an order through an app as well so that you can just come pick it up instead of having to call.
Right.
Okay, Josh, moving on. How about Encore?
Encore was tough for me because I like a lot of Encore. But the worst part for me is the walk there, the separation of Encore from almost anything else. But if you're staying at Wynn, it's a walk. It's not like Venetian Palazzo where you can go easily.
It's a hefty walk over there. That wouldn't be my biggest complaint. Again, casual dining pops up because they don't have anything better over there. But I would also say just their table games in general. They don't have a ton of tables. Most of the time, only 1 or 2 of them are open when you're there, unless it's the evening. And just the dealer quality at Encore is not as good as Wynn. Now, compared to Venetian Palazzo, it's still better. But if I'm having a nitpick, I would say that's my concern.
By the way, we missed on our opportunity to say the worst part of Wynn was Rick.
Oh, that is true. When you got asshole dealers like that, I mean, that really
Rick and
takes
Jay,
away from the property.
worst parts.
Just horrible crew. I mean,
Anyway.
good people like Liz get dragged down by jerks like them.
Exactly.
Okay, Josh, how about Resorts World?
Resorts World was a little tough for me to think of worst part, but I think it's the layout. I think it's that,
It's
again,
a big rectangle.
It's a big rectangle, but you've got all these offshoots of like the best places for me to get food are some of the places that aren't actually near the casino floor. Like
Okay.
they're in some of those, if I'm walking over from Encore, I go through some of the places I'd rather go than some of the places on the main casino floor. That's not a very good answer, but I couldn't think of any really worst parts.
Oh, I could. Didn't take
Okay.
me long
What
at
you
all.
got? You got lots.
No, well, I mean, I'll stick with one. It's the crowd.
Okay.
It is some of the
Okay.
second to only one other property, really, maybe 2 other properties that we probably still haven't talked about yet. The crowd at Resorts World is what always took away from it for me. When I used to
Right.
stay there when they first opened, it's a beautiful property. They had some good employees, but man, it is a rough crowd up on the north end of the strip. You're trying to be a serious gambler there, and there's just, I don't know. It's not a place that I ever felt, like super safe in.
Right.
And you never knew when you were going to get hassled by somebody that you didn't want to get hassled by. Ton of hookers on the floor, especially at night. Like if you sit at a slot machine or a VP machine by yourself at night, just brace yourself. You're going to
And these
have
aren't
10 or
Cosmo
15
hookers.
women. No, these are the bad ones that are going to walk up and try to and I find that horribly annoying because I have zero interest in them and I'm not good at telling people to get the fuck away. So it makes my experience poor. So I don't like Resorts World for that reason.
Well, I'll be staying there in a few months and I'll give you a report on my, hooker interactions.
Yeah, give me a scorecard on each one that you talk to, Josh.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, moving on. How about Circus Circus?
Well, Circus, there's so much. There's so many worst parts.
Oh,
of
so you can
Circus
choose
Circus.
whatever you want, honestly.
For me, it's like going to a circus and it's only sad clowns.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
It's like a
There's
circus
just nothing
is supposed to be
uplifting
fun,
about the
and
place
there's just
at all.
nothing left in the circus fun.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've stayed there. I said room quality because I could have chosen almost anything. I do
It's been a
think
long time
it
since
has
I've stayed there
the
too.
absolute worst rooms in Vegas, bar none. I mean, it's bad. But
It's
yeah,
bad.
you could choose almost 100. Even the best parts of Circus are not really
Or
great.
worst parts, yes.
I mean, like I'd say the steakhouse is the best thing that they offer, but it's not good. It's a
No.
good value, but it's
Yeah.
not good food. So yeah, it's a rough place in general.
Yeah, but it's like sad circus now.
Okay, last place, Josh, the Strat.
Again, I think there's probably a lot of worst parts to the Strat. I think the worst part is probably when you go there and you see the security guards with, automatic weapons.
At the front door? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great way to be greeted. I said safety perception.
Same
that
idea, right?
Like I joke about some places not feeling as safe as you want it to be. The Strat feels dangerous.
We really did see that when we
No,
were
I mean,
there.
that's not a joke. And I've been there more than once. And that's not like out of line for the way things are up there. As a higher level player, I would never feel comfortable walking away from a table there with a big win. Like I would have to find a security guard or something to like escort me to my room. I do not feel safe there. I've never felt safe there. The north end of the strip in general has that kind of sketchy feeling to it. The Strat is the worst of that.
And one property we didn't talk about that's not on our list for worst parts is Fountain Blue.
Oh, I didn't even include that.
Yeah, I know. I just thought of that as we're talking about the Strat. I was like, oh, we forgot Fountain Blue. Do you have a
Well,
worst part of Fountain Blue?
If you want my quick feedback on that, it would just be similar to something you've pointed out on a couple other properties. The layout's a little bit weird where they have halls that just kind of dead end. And when I was there, because they were fairly new, they didn't even have signage up in a lot of these areas. So you would just walk down a path and end up like in an employee lounge or something that you didn't mean to get to. I didn't particularly love that.
And I think this kind of goes for a few, but I would say for me, the worst part of Fountain Blue is the location. That one's,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much
Really
anything
out
on the
there.
North Strip. That's the sad part. I mean, in Vegas in general, if you're going to be on the very north end of the strip or the very south end of the strip, you better be a very special property. Like I think a place like Wynn can get by on the north end of the strip. And for you, Venetian Palazzo, you love it just as much too, and that's not as bad. But when you get further up, it better be an amazing property or it's going to fall.
You're not going to leave much, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Josh, after the break, we're going to answer a listener question and spin the wheel, so stick around. We got an email from Scott. Scott said, "Hi guys, a few weeks ago, a buddy and I decided to hit the local property in Lincoln, Nebraska for a weeknight craps session. Our local casino only has one craps table, and it's slammed on weekends, so we hoped for a less crowded table during the weeknight. Sure enough, the table was open and only a few players. After a few short rolls and 7 outs from other players, the dice got passed to my friend Joel. Long story short, he went on one of those dream rolls that all seasoned craps players have stories about. He hit 9 points along with the all tall small and rolled for a good 45 minutes. After he finally 7'd out, the dice got passed to the person next to him. Of course, everyone at the table loaded up on the all tall small bet again. The shooter went on another dream roll. He hit 6 points and the all tall small again during his 45-minute roll. By this time, our table had attracted a pretty big crowd. None of us at the table had ever been a part of 2 enormous rolls like that back to back. The boxman was digging so deep into his table bank of chips that we started seeing all the lint that builds up behind chips that hadn't moved in ages. But that's just another indicator of how amazing these 2 rolls were. These are the types of stories that craps players dream about. I'm curious if either of you have ever been part of a back-to-back enormous roll like that. Love the show, Scott. And Scott, I will say that inevitably, anytime there is a massive roll, the next 3 to 4 rolls are always god-awful.
That's not true. We've had
it is, Josh.
We've had really good back-to-back sessions. So, Scott, thank you. And those are, as you were saying, Chris and I had a great session at Wynn one time, and I can't remember if it was back-to-back or exactly how it went, but, a session like that. And as Chris was reading your question, what I was really thinking about is that's the part that you don't get with video poker or slots or really many other table games that I can think of, is that building momentum. I mean, the thing that separates craps from baccarat or blackjack or roulette is that you can have something that goes on for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and builds and builds and builds. And I guess you can make an argument that blackjack is, each roll of the dice is a new hand. You could kind of make that argument, but it's not the same thing. Like if you're pressing it all or, whatever you're doing with your bets, you're building these stacks on various numbers. This excitement that comes is not like any other game in the casino.
No, I agree with you. And there's no better feeling than when you get every number pressed up like that so that you hit that point in a roll, 5-10 minutes in.
Anything happens and you're getting paid a ton, right?
Anything other than a 7. You were just so excited because you were making so much money when you have, $500 plus on every number. So you're getting purple chips every time the dice roll for the most part. And at that point, if I'm on a regular table, Josh, I'm taking a crap check or a horn bet.
Right. We're just doing all these crazy fun things because right.
You never feel like a 7's going to come. You don't get that at a blackjack table. I've had plenty of blackjack shoes where I only lost a single hand or something like that. And yes, I was increasing my bets as I went. It's not the same thing. It's not building on top of each other. It's independent hands and it's just not the same experience. And blackjack tables never have the energy of a craps table.
No. And like on a slot machine, yes, you can hit, I think I hit something for $10,000 once, and that's wonderful, but it's a single little moment in time. It's not this building where your heart gets going and going and going.
Yeah, it's rare that you would ever get like a hand pay followed by another hand pay 30 seconds later. And then, they do happen sometimes close to each other, but it's a heck of a lot more rare.
You get a teeny bit of that in Ultimate X. Part of the reason I like it, because the hands can build upon each other, but it's not the same.
I agree with you there. Patreon.com/crapvegas. Huge thank you to everybody that signed up over the past couple weeks. And that is Dunce, SFK, Justin C, Tyler T, Merrill B, Anthony B, and Kevin F with the KCS membership. So thank you all for signing up over the past couple weeks.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody. Do you think Justin C's last name is Case? Do you think he's Justin Case?
Justin Case.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, thank you all. Again, we'd love to have you join us over on Patreon. We try and do something fun every week over there, every other week, depending on our release, but we try and make it a lot of fun. I appreciate your support over there. It really helps the show, helps us keep going.
Absolutely. Josh, we've made it to the end. That means it's nothing but time for the big wheel.
All right, let's give the wheel a spin.
It's time to spin the Crap Vegas Big Wheel. Are you ready? Josh, spin the wheel.
I'm spinning.
You know, that wheel is going very fast for it to come to an abrupt stop.
I put
Did you
my
ever
finger
notice
on
that?
it.
It
I
doesn't
stop it.
slowly come to a
Right.
stop. It's
It just clunks. That's why
It
people have
just
said it
stops.
breaks, right?
Yeah.
It's a broken wheel. Chris, did you see this is as we are recording breaking news? We're breaking news. We're a breaking news podcast. Of course, by the time this drops, this will be a week or two old, however old it is. But did
Okay.
you see what's coming to the Sphere?
What is coming to the Sphere, Josh?
The Sphere is going to, I don't know if they're going to replace or supplement, but they've announced their replacement for Oz. And
Okay.
it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Interesting. That kind
Yeah.
of makes sense. I can understand why they would want to go that direction. I mean, I really want to see Wizard of Oz before it's gone, but Rocky Horror Picture does seem to kind of fit into what they're trying to do there now. So yeah, that sounds like a fun show, and maybe you and I can get over there and check it out sometime.
I kind of embarrassed to say it, Chris, I have never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I have many times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cult classic. I mean,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people absolutely hate it. Some people love it. I mean, I
I'm
think
kind of
somebody in my
embarrassed that I've
family,
never seen it.
somebody in my family might have had a pet Seymour in their house. So
See, it doesn't even
You
mean
know,
anything to me.
yeah.
I
Okay,
don't know what Seymour is.
there
Let's
you go.
give the wheel another spin.
Oh, we got 2 this week. Go ahead.
We do. Oftentimes have two.
Clunk.
Clunk. Okay, Chris, this is a variation on your favorite.
Guessing a conference.
Well, I pulled up the conferences, and I'm just going to read you the conferences. And you stop me if there's anything you think, is worth talking about. So coming up, there's the Collecticon, which is 5,000 people at the convention center. That'll be about the
Okay.
time this episode drops, probably. I looked at the celebrity guests for the Collecticon, and as you can imagine, it's all things collectible. There's anime, there's stuff. But Chum Lee from Pawn Stars is going to be there. He's one of
Why
the.
did I think he died or went to jail or
Well,
something?
I don't know. Well, what's his name? Corey. The
Okay,
other
he's
son.
the one that died.
No. There's rumor. That's always a rumor that he's not. He lives
Oh.
in Mexico, but he might be on the outs with Rick. I don't know what's going on.
See, I can't keep track anymore. But
So also we have the National Fire Protection Association at Mandalay Bay coming up, I think this
Ooh.
week or so. Then we have the AANP National Conference, which I won't make you guess, but NP are nurse practitioners.
I
That's
thought
going
you
to
were
be
going to say it was the
Venetian.
American Association of Not Retired People.
Not retired people. These are the American Association. I don't know if it's American Association, but of
It's gotta
nurse
be.
practitioners. You've got the Alpha Delta Kappa Sorority West Regional Convention at Park MGM.
Oh, people always say I'm an alpha, so maybe I should look into that.
There you go. You've got a jujitsu. I can't say jujitsu very well. Jujitsu championship.
Talking about
And-
anime and jujitsu, my son is now hooked on Jujutsu Kaisen, an anime that I have,
Yeah,
very
It's-
exciting.
But really, the one that I wanted to lead up to is the IAMWMW. IAMWMW.
I'm not going to lie there. I thought this was a joke and you were literally spelling I am a something,
No,
but this is a real conference, huh?
a real conference. Again,
Okay.
I will give you the letters IAMWMW, and you will never in 10 million years guess what it is. It is the International Association of Ministers' Wives and Ministers' Widows.
They have their own group?
That's what got me. It's going to be at Flamingo.
I mean, why do ministers' wives and widows get their own group? Like,
I
is
don't
there
know.
an international association of accountants, widows and wives, and lawyers,
Isn't
widows
that
and
the-
wives?
No offense to anybody that's in it. It's probably a great organization. I
Oh,
don't
sure.
know.
It's amazing.
But the International Association of Ministers' Wives and Ministers' Widows.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's their 85th convention.
Wow. They've been doing this for
Yeah.
a while.
They have. How about that?
Huh. Well,
Those are
maybe
your
next year we can
random-
report from like ground zero.
If
there
anybody's
and see-
going to the
Yes.
Ministers' Wives and
send us
Widows
a video or
convention,
something.
please let us know.
Okay. Anything else before we get out of here, Josh?
No, thanks for your support, everybody. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to us.
I agree.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Vegas, here we come.
Thanks for listening to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
Check out all our recent news and our Vegas trip calendar by visiting crapvegas.com.
See you in Vegas.
And that is patreon.com/ No, it's not. I haven't.
Isn't
It's
it?
not even in my notes anymore. And that's crapvegas.com/ no. What is it? Is it patreon.com?
I don't know. You always say it.
I took it off my notes like 3
You don't
months.
have old notes?
I think it's patreon.com/crapvegas. Let me check.
That seems reasonable.
That seems like the right thing, right?
It does.
Let me see if it loads. It sure did. Okay, here we go.
There's a link on my Twitter for it.
Yeah. I honestly thought you were going to go the direction this week, Josh, of mentioning about a certain Broadway play that was coming to Vegas that Chris actually foreshadowed, I don't know, 6 months ago?
We talked about that on the last wheel.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. I said,
Did we?
Chris, guess what's coming to Vegas
Did we really?
on episode 106P?
Oh, did we? Hey.
Yeah. You should
Wow.
pay more attention to the wheel.
Okay. Well.
Perfect.
Perfect.